Welcome back, Montreal, to Suburban Radio Hour. Beryl Wiseman with you, with my colleagues Anthony Bonaparte, features editor, and great Mark Lidbetter, sports editor, who has a very special guest, Mark.
Yes, I do. Very fortunate to have Joey Hot Rod de la Rosa, 7'1" forward with the Harlem Globetrotters, who, continuing the Trotters' tradition of being in the community, was in town to visit 30 students at Villemard's École Notre-Dame de Perpetuel Secours. And Joey, thanks for taking the time. Welcome to Montreal.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
I guess events like this that you get to take part in, it's kind of full circle because can you tell my listeners exactly what planted the seed for you wanting to be a Globetrotter back when you were 9 years old?
Yeah, for me, it was so much love because it melts my heart, and I love to go out there and speak to the youth and tell them my Harlem Globetrotter story. My Harlem Globetrotter story was when I was 9 years old, the Harlem Globetrotters came to my school on 183rd Street in the Bronx in New York City. And they was doing all these tricks that we go out there and do now. And I was like, wow, like I couldn't stop thinking about it. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I go out, I can't stop thinking about it. And I say, you know what, I got to tell somebody. I call my parents, I talk to my mom and my dad, and I say, Mom, I'm going to be a basketball player. She goes, you're going to be a basketball player? I say, Mom, I'm going to be a basketball player. These guys just came into PS9 Elementary doing all these fancy tricks. And that day, it inspired me to play the game of basketball. Later on, I went to Mount Verde Academy, which is the #1 high school in the country for basketball, where I had the chance to get seen by a whole bunch of Division I schools, where I started my career at Florida International, and I played for head coach Isaiah Thomas, and then I transferred to St. John's University to play for head coach Steve Lavin, which became the number 15 team in the country at some point. And then that gave me the opportunity to earn my degree in business and get a minor in finance. From there on out, I ended up playing for a few NBA teams, working out for a few NBA teams, and then I played overseas. I played in China, Thailand, Malaysia, República Dominicana, Nicaragua, and then I get the phone call, hey, would you want to be a Harlem Globetrotter? And I thought about that very first moment when I was 9 years old. I went to the trial, did my thing, and then a month later, I got an invite to training camp.
And what's it like being a Globetrotter, realizing that dream for you?
It's so much love because it's so much full circle moment. And it didn't really hit me until I was like in my uniform and we was on tour. And I was like, yeah, you know what? This shit is it's so much love. Like it literally is so much love. And I get to go out there. And every time I'm in the arena and I just scope it out, I do a quick 360 and I look around and I see all these fans, the kids, the parents, the grandparents, and they're all smiling. And I'm like, oh, yeah, today we're going to do it. We're going to do it every single night. Let's give them a memory of a lifetime. So I love that.
And the Globetrotters organization, it's important to go into the communities that they are visiting.
Yes.
Like you're doing, like you did with École Notre-Dame Perpetuel Secours. You know what that means? Our Lady of Perpetual Aid. That's what that means.
Okay.
But when you go there, of course, the kids want to see the tricks. They want to do a little b-ball.
Yeah.
But it's holding their attention with your story and with the message. What are a couple of the important things you want these kids to take away?
I always tell these kids, I go in there and I give them my message and I tell them my story. And then I tell them basketball was my passion and it led me to be a Harlem Globetrotter. Your passion doesn't have to be basketball. You can be a doctor, you can be a teacher, police officer, a lawyer, a musician. You can be whatever you want to be. And, you know, and then most importantly, make sure you find something you're passionate about and then work hard towards it. Make sure you work hard towards it because those goals are achievable to reach. So I tell these kids, I go in there, I tell them to stay positive and preach that positivity message towards them.
And I think you take away some pretty good stuff from it too, getting to do those appearances.
Oh yeah, for me, I love it because I get to see kids' reaction when I spin the ball on their finger. I get to they always ask me questions at the end. How tall are you? What shoe size do you wear? And I tell them I'm 7'1" and I wear size 15 shoes. So it's all love, and I love, you know, like I said, to be there and inspire those kids. And, you know, have fun with those kids. Like, I enjoy it, the whole nine.
And one last question. When Hot Rod's on the court, what's
Mhm.
his specialty that he likes to showcase to the fans?
I like to do my sky hook, and then I like to turn around and do the call me.
I always love me a good old-fashioned sky hook.
There you go. Yeah. You can never go wrong with that. You know, you catch it on a post, you give him a little shimmy shake, and you throw that sky hook up there.
Hot Rod, I appreciate you taking the time. I thank you, and I say safe travels. And
Thank you.
we'll catch you at Place Bell or the Bell Center come the end of the
Yes.
month.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
That was great, Mark. A lot of West Island sports going on.
Yep. Well, Kirkland honored the Cougars football's excellent because the Pee Wee Bantam Lakeshore Cougars, as well as the Montreal Mavericks flag football squad, they were honored by the city of Kirkland for their accomplishments. The two Cougar teams played perfect seasons all the way to Pee Wee's claiming the President's Cup and Bantams earning the Bantam AAA Coupe d'Or. Now, the Mavericks were the world champions in flag football for the U13 category. They did that down in Florida. Now, joining in on the celebration was Mark Whiteman, president and CEO of the Montreal Alouettes, and the Grey Cup hero and most valuable Canadian in the game, Tyson Philpott. They brought along the Grey Cup for the game for the afternoon also. Now, Ted Stout, who's president of Lakeshore Football, told me that he thinks it's really special that Kirkland did this. It's validation for putting in all the work, and winning is one thing, but to have the city acknowledge the work as well as just give the kids a better perspective, it shows how important it is that they stick to their goals and dreams, and when they achieve them, people are going to recognize and appreciate the work they put in. So
Terrific.
Yeah.
And I see a Coach St. Luke team has made some local sports news.
Yeah, the Canucks weathered the storm, and that would be the Coach St. Luke.
Wait a minute. Don't tell me the Storm is the name of a team.
Yes.
Of course it is. Well, I missed that. I missed
Caught
that,
on,
Anthony.
Beryl,
I missed that. I knew a punt was coming. But he hit it in the third story.
I'll give you a storm warning next time.
God, help me.
Well, no, the U11B Coach St. Luke Canucks girls hockey team are off to the Chevrolet Cup Provincial
All
Championships.
right, what does U11 stand for? It's like a CIA operation in Vietnam.
But they're all under 11. We would call that.
Under 11. Okay. See, Anthony, it's not a code. Actually makes sense.
We would all call them Atom in the old days. That would be the Atom category.
Atom, ATOM.
Yes. And they're off to the provincial championships as the Lac St. Louis regional champions, following a 3-0 win over the Sud-West Storm Gris, the Grey Storm. There were timely saves by Canuck netminder Claire Emery and strong defending in their zone that held off a strong storm front from registering on the score sheet. Now, precision shots by a trio of Canucks were needed to best Sud-West goalies Gaël Doucette, who came up big on several saves in the loss. Nicole Pirro got the Canucks on the board, and her tally would stand as the game winner. Madeline Patterson added an insurance marker, and Ivy George added an empty net tally to complete the scoring. And the Canucks will not only now have the chance to play the provincials in their own region, but in their home rink of Samuel Motzkovich, as that level will be hosted by Coach St. Luke Minor Hockey. So here's to a good week for the girls.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Anthony. Always a pleasure. Thank you, Mike. Been great being with you. Montreal, take a look at Suburban for the stories I've mentioned, but also this coming week, we're going to be following several major stories, but one that is particularly important. The EMSB, the English Montreal School Board, has decided to challenge Bill 21 all the way to the Supreme Court. And that will have, we hope, some kind of positive ramifications. Thank you for listening to the Suburban News Hour. I'm Beryl Wiseman.